Today's video is in partnership with airspotters.com, one of the leading websites for aircraft model collectors, whether it's aircraft models or aviation toys, stocking everything from Gemini jets, MG models, Skymarks, Aero Classics and more. Check them out, the link is in the description below. Hello and welcome to another video here on my channel. Today's offering is something a little different. In the world of aviation, an airline's livery plays a crucial part in advertising the airline's values and also its culture's ethos, offering spotters an opportunity to add a stunning livery to their collection of photos, videos or even models. With that said, here are my top 10 standard airline liveries. Of course, this is just my opinion. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Number 10. Air Canada. Current livery. In February 2017, Air Canada unveiled a new livery which ditched the mint colour livery to more of a throwback to their 1993 livery of the black tail with a red maple leaf adorning the centre of it. Only difference this time is the maple leaf has a red circle around it, the titles on the forward fuselage being in black, not red, and black engine cowlings and a black underbelly, which really add to a striking visual that this livery already produces. The 1993 livery is probably my favourite of the Air Canada liveries, so I was happy to see them bring it back with a more modern day touch to it. It's clean, crisp, and one that I hope adorns the skies for many years to come. Number 9. Varig, 1961 to 1996. A livery that was much loved by spotters around the world, Varig, who are now defunct, introduced this livery in 1961. The stunning cheat line, which in the 60s, 70s and 80s was a mainstay of airline liveries, and Varig perfected it. With a striking dark blue running along the aircraft and curving around the nose, white above the cheat line and a silver metallic look on the underbelly, this livery to me just screams class. So much so that it stayed around for 35 years, being worn by aircraft such as the Boeing 747, the Douglas DC-8, the Boeing 707, Boeing 737s, McDonnell Douglas DC-10s, McDonnell Douglas MD-11s and the Boeing 767s. It didn't look out of place on any of these aircraft. Number 8. Air Jamaica, 1980s to 2009. A somewhat controversial choice, with this livery not being loved by a majority of aviation enthusiasts. I actually do like it. First worn by the Boeing 727s and Airbus A310s, this eye-catching livery was a regular into Heathrow Airport on their Airbus A340-300s, as well as 15 other destinations throughout Air Jamaica's lifespan. Now defunct, Air Jamaica are missed in European skies and by the spotters who do actually like this livery, as not many airlines nowadays can claim such a striking livery. The colours, which bear no resemblance to the Jamaican flag, were always a highlight for any spotter and is rightly placed at number 8. What did you make of this livery? Let me know in the comments below. Number 7. Hawaiian Airlines, current livery. I wanted to place this higher on the list, but in at number 7 is Hawaiian's 2017 livery. There's not much change to this livery than the previous one, with the exception that the fuselage is wrapped with a silver malele with pakalana flowers, which is just beautiful and really captures the culture of Hawaii. With a fleet of Airbus A330s, A321neos and Boeing 717s, it's another livery that looks gorgeous on any aircraft type. Number 6. Aer Lingus, 1996 to 2019. So this is another of an enthusiast's favourite. It's the Aer Lingus livery which was sadly dropped in 2019 for a more Euro-white livery. This is up there as one of my favourites because just like the Hawaiian livery, this captures everything that represents Ireland. A lighter green shamrock adorning the tail, with a bold green dressing the aircraft up with an off-white underbelly. A lighter green runs along the window panels with a blue underline. It's a classy look, and probably my favourite Airbus A330 livery. It's just a shame that they had to drop this livery and bring in a new one, but there are still aircraft out there that wear this today, and it is also rumoured that all the aircraft will wear the new livery within the next 12 to 18 months. Number 5. Britannia, 1984 to 2003. A classic livery within the British aviation community, this stunning and very regal Britannia livery was introduced in the 1980s to replace the red and blue striped livery. The dark blue on the tail, the underside of the engines and belly, was worn by aircraft such as the Boeing 767-200 when it entered service and the 300 version, the Boeing 757 and 737s. The Britannia name was dropped in 2003, and with the name drop came the livery drop, which was replaced by the TUI livery. I'd quite like to see TUI bring it back as a retro, but I think it's just a dream, to be honest. But it's definitely high on my list as one of my favourite liveries of all time. Number 4. Singapore Airlines, 2006 to the current day. High on my list, and a livery that hasn't had to have too many changes over the last 50 years or so, is this Singapore Airlines livery of the current day. Introduced in 2006 after being painted on the first Airbus A380 to be delivered to a customer, Singapore Airlines adopted this livery with a minor tweak of having large billboard style titles on the forward fuselage, and since then has been worn by the 747 before retirement, Airbus A330s, Airbus A350s, Boeing 777s, and more notably and recently the soon to be delivered Boeing 737 Maxes. Considered to be one of the best airlines to travel on in the world, it's only fitting that they have such a royal livery to accompany their incredible status in the skies. Number 3. South African Airways, 1981 to 1997. So, here we go, top 3, and kicking it off is the South African Airways orange tail livery from 1981 to 1997. I recently reviewed a Gemini Jets 1200 Boeing 747-400 in this livery, of which you can see in the card in the top right of the screen. This is up there as one of my favourites of all time because of the striking orange colour. It looked excellent on any aircraft that wore it, from the Boeing 747 to the Boeing 767, and even the 737s and Airbus A320s. Again, I am an absolute sucker for cheat lines, and the blue and orange cheat lines just add something extra classy to this livery. It was dropped in 1997 for the current Springbok livery, but for me, this livery is one of the most beautiful ones to ever grace our skies. Number 2. Delta's Widget livery, 1962 to 1997. So, number 2, a favourite amongst all enthusiasts. The Delta Widget livery was originally introduced on a Douglas DC-8-51 series back in 1962. And it's the last version that we look at today that is on my list as my number 2 favourite livery of all time. It's a livery that just oozes class and is a very sought after colour scheme in the model collecting world. A legendary colour scheme which was brought back on a Boeing 767-200, Ship 102, November 102 Delta Alpha, manufactured in October 1982, which currently sits at the Delta Museum in Atlanta, Georgia. A legendary livery in my eyes, and Delta's best ever livery. Enthusiasts alike deep down pine to have this livery back just one more time. Before we get to number 1, here are a few honourable mentions. Olympic Airways. The Olympic rings and livery are ones that are gone from the skies after Olympic Airways collapsed in 2009. The gorgeous blue cheat line and Olympic rings, of which there are 6, not 5, with the 6th one representing Greece, show off Greece's heritage really nicely. American Airlines Chrome livery, 1968 to 2013. Not many airlines that were left from the past era kept their original livery for 45 years, and can also be called a timeless classic. The American Airlines polished metal livery was a tough one to leave off the list, and another sorely missed airline livery, although a single 737-800 currently keeps its livery as a retrojet. And my number 1 all-time favourite airline livery is the British Airways Landor livery, 1984 to 1997. This isn't even close. To me, this is the greatest airline livery to ever grace the skies. The British Airways Landor livery was introduced in 1984 and marked a real change for British Airways. A grey top with a navy blue underbelly and engines, accompanied by the British Airways coat of arms, produced the most regal of liveries which would not look out of place in today's aviation world. In fact, it was brought back as part of British Airways' 100th birthday celebrations, where they repainted 4 planes in the iconic liveries of yesteryear. Golf, Bravo, November, Lima, Yankee, a Boeing 747-400, was the lucky one to receive the Landor livery and was named the City of Swansea. No matter what aircraft you put this livery on, it looked absolutely fantastic and stunning on each one of them. Aircraft from the Lockheed L1011 TriStar, the Boeing 767, the Douglas DC-10, the Boeing 737, Boeing 747, Boeing 757 and the Airbus A320s, to name some, wore it with pride in serving as Britain's number 1 airline. Concorde also wore this livery. It was a little bit modified though, specifically for the supersonic airliner, where it will wear just the coat of arms and the red speed wing. With British Airways retiring the 747s in 2020, the Landor scheme is now retired from our skies once again, as Bravo November Lima Yankee now sits at Dunsfold Aerodrome. The Landor livery was replaced from 1997 until the year 2000 by the heavily criticised World Tails, of which I will do a video on in the future. What's your favourite airline livery of all time? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want me to do my top 10 worst liveries of all time, then leave a like. If we get enough likes on this video, then I'll do it. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, smash the like button, leave a comment and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It would mean a lot. But for now, look after yourselves, continue to stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Today's video is in partnership with airspotters.com, one of the leading websites for aircraft model collectors, whether it's aircraft models or aviation toys, stocking everything from Gemini jets, MG models, Skymarks, Aero Classics and more. Check them out, the link is in the description below.